So I've got Joe Norris from Get Your Tips Out, who provides daily horse racing tips. And today's video is around dark horses, tips and predictions. So Joe, anyone that doesn't know what a dark horse means and how you predict these to outrun the odds, what is your dark horse tips?
So a dark horse for me is sort of when you can find an angle for this horse. So whether that, obviously there's lots of different angles you can have. This could be first start for a new trainer, second start back from a win-not, or a horse that's coming back from a long layoff that you might have had in your tracker. There's a lot of different ways you can sort of find this horse. Now, it's not something that will necessarily happen every day. You might go a couple of days without having a dark horse. But yeah, I think this is definitely a tip that when you see it, it's worth taking note of. Whether you back it that time or whether it just goes into your tracker for something that you're going to back further down the line.
Do you know what I love about him when you're choosing it and when you go through your checklist of what the dark horses are? I think that some of the main ones are, if the horse has been running, let's say, on firm ground, and then next minute it's starting to run on soft, and people are looking at the bare form, and you're thinking, I think it's going to seek improvement for softer ground. Or another big one that I know you love quite a lot is if a horse was running over 2 miles and it steps up in trip to like 2 mile 4, and you think it's going to seek improvement by going that long distance, it's going to be for a stayer and stuff like that. And then one of the biggest ones, which you kind of led me to, I didn't even understand it, on the fastest finishers, where you've got the sectional upgrade times, where a horse might have actually ran better than its like actual form suggests, and it might have been a staying on, been unlucky, mistimed its run with its sectional times and come staying on. So it's definitely something that I always follow. Sometimes if you don't choose some of your dark horse tips on one of the days, I'm like, oh, I want your dark horse tips. They're the ones that I want. I think they're the most juicy value kind of horses that you predict on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely one of the tips that's the more rewarding when it wins. Because often they're sort of quite a big price. They've sort of been missed in the market. So yeah, I think when we do put them up, they're definitely worth looking out for.
Yeah, it's one of them as well. I always need to make sure to take an early price, because there's times where you've put some of these dark horse tips up and it's been 20 to 1 in the morning, and then before you know it, midday, and it's down to bloody 5 and 6 to 1, and you're like, oh god. It's like price. I feel like you're like the price wise. The minute you put a dark horse up, it just goes straight in the market and it's dropping down. So it's it's good. But if anyone's wanting to know Joe's dark horse tips for today's racing or tomorrow's racing, check the link in the description. Joe provides daily. Hopefully, most days he's providing a dark horse tip. It's not every day. If there's not an angle on a certain horse, there might not be one that specific day. But if there is, the link in the description for Joe's dark horse tips.